Oh, thank you.
Hey everyone, before we get this episode started, also, I wanted to sound like a YouTuber, that's why I started off with, hey everyone, like, subscribe below. You know how YouTubers are. Okay, but before we get started, I want y'all to know we are going extra big with the All-Star season of Vulnerability Time podcast. So, guess what? We got video podcast. So, click in the episode description below if you wish to watch the video of the podcast as well. It'll be a YouTube link, so you can go ahead and get it going and get watching it. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe below. Such a YouTuber, right? Anyways, folks, enjoy the episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Vulnerability Time All-Star Season. I am your host, Josiah April, and with us we have an all-star returning special guest, Casper. Casper!
I don't know if I should count as an all-star, but right on.
Well, you've been on, like, when your episode in season 3 released, what, a month ago or something like that?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, like a month ago, and so that's recent, and you're already an all-star.
Right.
Well, I told you you're healing the world. So before we get into our topics today, folks, which our topics will be how music, can express individuality and how music can contribute to self-acceptance. And it's really interesting because Casper is a music artist. And there was something about him that I will tell him that made me get to this topic. But first, I do have a question. So, how does it feel, Casper, to be an all-star?
And
to be back. Yeah.
Right, well, first of all, I'm very, very happy to be back because this is always such a fun thing to do. And it's been great, especially like all of our conversations, even outside of the podcast. It's just been really good getting to know you and stuff. For anybody that is listening that doesn't really know Josiah's, absolutely beautiful person, beautiful human being. So,
I didn't tell him to say that. That means a lot to me.
Really, you always
that
brighten
means
up.
A lot.
So much fun. So, yeah, and again, the whole all-star thing, I'm feeling excited and hopeful that I'm worthy of such an honor.
Yes. What are we drinking there? I'm excited. I'm a little jealous. I'm gonna drink.
I was gonna say I had to get so this is helping take the edge off, right?
Oh, I hear you. We gotta do that sometime. Okay, sorry, continue. I swear I'm sorry for interrupting. What were you gonna say?
I don't know what I was gonna say.
I'm so sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
That was my fault. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I felt that mood because I had just recorded an episode earlier today, and I lost my train of thought like a lot. So folks who've seen season 1, they know.
Yeah.
They know.
I was just talking to my sister a couple of minutes ago, and I was like, for like the last couple hours, my brain just feels like a gray rectangle floating in the sky. Like there's just nothing going on. So I'm hoping that this will sort of stimulate the mental plane again.
And that's the thing. I'm glad that you're able to bring yourself as you are here, right now in this moment. I'm glad you're able to bring yourself here, because this episode could be a complete blur, and that is okay because it is vulnerable. You're here as you are, whatever Casper's day is, that's how you show up. And that's the best thing, to show up as authentic as you can. Doesn't have to look good, doesn't have to look bad, doesn't have to look like anything. It could just be a gray rectangle. Hey, That's vulnerable. That's you. That's you today.
For real.
I'm here for it.
Right.
So what made me think about these topics to talk to you about is because you had posted on your Instagram, which will be in the episode description below. You had posted on your Instagram, you performing. And when I saw that, I saw it like 2 or 3 times because I was just like, that is so cool. I was like, oh my god. So I like rewatched it a couple times. And you just were so in the zone. It just, I don't know. It just was, I don't know. This is how I felt watching it. I was just like, you on that stage, it's like more you. It was like really cool. It's just like,
thank you.
In that moment, you're just still like Casper. It's like you're on the astral plane. You're just jiving and thriving, you know?
Right, Cloud 14, right?
Yeah, is that it?
Yes. Yeah, I appreciate that because it really is just, it's a very, I can't get enough of just sharing music with people. So it's always really cool when people can like see that and respond to it. So thank you.
Exactly. It was just, you were such an individual in a collective environment because you're in a band. But it's just like, your individuality was just showing. Because remember, we were thinking, okay, what topics are we going to talk about?
Right.
But I saw that Instagram video and I was like, I think like I needed to put in the words. So when I finally had the words, I was like, this is perfect. Like how music can, encourage self-acceptance, and how music can also, encourage individuality.
Yeah.
So I do have a question.
Yes.
How has music, and if you haven't noticed yet, that's okay. And it can be your band right now, it can be music that you've heard in the past. How has like art of music, helped you with your self-acceptance or just self-confidence or individuality or all three, whatever? Like, how have you seen that help?
I think definitely, sorry, I'm trying to come up with the answer because it's...
Oh, that's okay. While you come up with it, we can all stare at your tattoos because they're pretty cool. I've been staring.
Right on. Yes, also, I'm going to do a little bit of shameless plugging. My fiance does all of my tattoos.
Yes.
And she's, her Instagram, I'm pretty sure right now, is Cherry Red Tattoos. Anyway, she works at Fong Tattoo in Carmel.
Mm-hmm.
If you want some ink, absolutely hit her up. She's an awesome person, and I say that with full bias.
I know that's right.
But she is an awesome person, and it's
right.
fun getting tattoos with her. So, but yeah, so I think one of the things, even talking about tattoos and like aesthetic, right? Aesthetic is a big part of how I express my individuality. For sure, very clearly.
Because it's another art.
Yes, and music very much has an aesthetic that's tied to it. If I tell you like a certain genre, you're gonna think of people that look a certain way or act a certain way, and that's really helpful, especially in like a self-discovery journey. And that helped me realize sort of my whole how I am just playing, being in an environment where I've had to play a lot of different kinds of music, and I've had to play with a lot of different kinds of people. It got me to be able to explore all of the intricacies of like the aesthetic that goes along with those genres, not only the music, but the clothes, the, philosophies and everything. And so I was able to, it's an excellent catalyst for self-exploration. It really is. So I think my musical journey, having started, I started playing on like I started playing drums on like a worship team, and then moved to like cover bands with School of Rock, and then left all that to do like my art and like songwriting, all of that. And then now I'm actually back to doing like the middle ground of where I'm songwriting and in cover projects to make money, because we all got to pay the bills sometime.
Yeah.
But all of it has culminated in me having an ever-growing understanding of a lot of different like backgrounds and a lot of different aesthetics and stuff, and it all filters into my mixed matched like hippie punk emo
Yeah. I was to say, yeah.
astral wizard kind of like aesthetic that I have. Because like, I mean, seriously, I mean, you know, every time you've seen me, I've got like a completely different kind of aesthetic going on depending on what I'm doing that day. And I think music is very much the same way, because I am so very deeply in love with all sorts of different kinds of music. But some days I don't want to listen to Korn, you know. Some days I just want to chill out with like Bob Marley and Grateful Dead and that kind of stuff, and then other days I'll be so into Korn that I won't want to listen to anything else. Right. So it's like, yeah. And it's one of those beautiful things where music can really help you to get to a place where you can feel yourself every day and have that like confidence or acceptance or comfort just expressing as you are, you know.
Yeah. Same, honestly, same. Like, yeah, like I was gonna say the same thing about, you know, like the type of music vibe and then the different aesthetics, because that was me for a long time. Like, I had different aesthetics. Like, some days I'd be like chill hippie, some days I'd be fashion, some days I looked so sophisticated and professional, you know. Someday it was a vibe. It was a vibe, yeah. You know. And however, I did notice, and I'm not saying this is like the end all be all reason for me, but what I am saying is that, you know, my love for a different music genre has helped influence my expression of individuality, and it helped me to accept myself a lot more. And that music genre is indie music. I never would have thought a million years, you know, that I would, you know.
I'm so sorry. Hold on. I'm gonna turn those notifications off.
Oh yeah, no, I hear you. You know, that's why like earlier I looked down because I was like, oh, let me turn my, because I was like, I got a text, so I was like, ooh. Yeah. So I mean, because growing up, you know, I listened to all the popular music that everybody else was listening to, you know, and I was just like, that's not. As I got older, I was like, that's not really me, you know? And so I started to like just listen to different genres, and I found a genre that I really, really connect to. And in fact, one of the songs I've been listening to so much, like for like 4 years straight now, and it's gonna be my wedding song. Like I already, it is like, it's just, that's how I already just made that decision when I first found the song. But yeah, it's just like, you know, indie music, it's helped me to just accept myself more, and with the whole like individuality, because I always known I was like different than those around me, you know? And indie music, it's something different as opposed to, you know, the popular music, pop culture music, you know? And so I'm just like, you know what? Indie is different music, but it's amazing in my eyes, my ears. So I'm just like, I can be different and still be amazing.
Yeah. What song is it?
Oh my God, it's called All You Got Is Gold by The Great Escape. Oh my God.
Excellent band name. Okay, cool. It's in my library now. I'll be listening to it right after this episode.
so amazing. It is my wedding song. Like every time I've been on I've been on like serious dates, and I say serious dates because I don't just I make like the guys that I'm really like, okay, there could really be a future possibly because I date intentionally, I don't just date. That's just me. But I would make a slow dance, and yes, I make them slow dance for I do. I have to. I don't care. But I make them slow dance, or I teach them to slow dance, and then I put on that song, and we slow dance to that song. I don't know. It's just something about that song. It brings me comfort in the midst of chaos. And so I mean, do you have a song or songs that that really speak to you in different ways?
Absolutely. I actually have been, it's funny that you should say this because I've been thinking about this a lot recently, and I need to go through and just make a playlist. And at some point, actually, if people are curious, I will, I don't know when because I've got so much going on right now, but at some point I'll probably post the playlist or something on my Instagram of just all of the songs that have done that for me, because there are definitely a number of songs that give me the shivers and shakes every time I hear them. But the three songs that have been really near and dear to me recently have been a song called I'll Believe in Anything by Wolf Parade, which is a really good indie group for you to check out.
Yes.
You and Me in the Mountain by Maps and Atlases, which is another really great.
I know of them. I don't know that song, but I know them.
Okay, yeah, they're fantastic. And then The New Year by Death Cab for Cutie. That song just, it gets me going every time I hear it, man. The waterworks. There's just something really great about. And there are many other songs. Nutshell by Alice in Chains. Jacob Collier's version of Moon River. Actually, Greenback Dollar by the Dillards, which is an old bluegrass song.
Bluegrass. I haven't heard about that genre in a long time.
I know. Yeah, but there's a lot of songs that have just, and they're from all across the board, genre-wise, that have just absolutely.
It's just I think looking back, I think that if I could give if my younger self was sitting in front of me, my younger self is within me because we're all just grown children. We literally we're just children that's grown up. But if my younger self was sitting in front of me, I would say in your journey of trying to learn who you are, learn different music genres as well, and maybe that will help you. Maybe you relate to this. Yeah, we do underestimate the art of music. We really do, because it's so accessible, it's so easy, we're in a more modern society, so it's easy to hear music. Back then it wasn't always easy to hear music, and there was limited numbers of music, so music back then it was a really big deal, and it is now, but it's just back then it was so limited. As compared to
it was very exclusive, which I think is actually very interesting because I talk to Claire about this all the time, because since she is a visual artist and stuff, right, there's obviously a very different sort of world that we both live in, especially when you're talking about employment and stuff like that. Because it's interesting because whenever you're in the visual art world, at least my understanding and my experience with it has been that you get paid for the work that you do. You know what I mean? Or don't. If you're like freelance, then you do or you don't. But still, like people will pay you like $800 for a painting or like $2,000 for
Yes.
a painting, and that's includes like the time that it took for you to make that and stuff. But whenever you go to a venue and they're like a little squeamish about hiring a band for $800 for 3 hours, and then you split that up between like 5 people or however many people, like you're only paying for the performance that I just put on, but you don't take into account all of the gas money for like rehearsals that had to be done or the time spent learning the music. You know what I mean? There's just they don't realize that like $50 you make that night or $100 you make that night is paying for like 30 plus hours of work, you know what I mean? And travel time and everything. So it's interesting because it is also like, even still today, I would say music is a lot more accessible than visual art, because like people don't, like a lot of people will take the time to go out to a show or whatever, but not a lot of people have the budget to like hang a bunch of paintings on their walls. So it's like it probably balances out in the end. It's just interesting that I don't know. I think people don't think about how much they're actually paying for whenever they go to the show, right? Because
Right.
yeah,
There's a lot more behind the
interesting.
scenes.
Yeah.
Casper, there's this song, and it's called Lullaby by Tasha, and
Okay.
it really this is vulnerability time, so I'm totally definitely gonna take it there. So it basically reminds me that I don't have to fight. It's okay to rest. Not every battle is mine to fight. I can't take the weight on the world on, and that's okay. Because, like,
Mhm.
it really helps my nervous system, learn that I can rest. I don't have to fight. I just don't. And by fight, I mean, like, I feel like I protect myself, when I don't even need to protect myself.
Right.
Kind of like, my body's been through a lot of trauma, and I feel like I'm always having to protect myself as if there was like a large bear in front of me every single time. Like, this is what some lady said. I'm not gonna get too into it, but she was talking about like trauma and how it impacts the body and post-traumatic stress disorder, and I have PTSD. I've been diagnosed with it for years, and she was saying how the body, it's normal for the body to respond that way if there's like a huge bear and you're having to fight it off,
Right.
but it's not good for the body to be like that 24/7.
Right.
Like,
For sure.
right. And so like that, I feel like I'm always having to fight, and I don't get rest, whether there's a threat or not. And mostly there haven't been threats recently, but I still am like fighting, and how about this? Instead of the word fighting, I want to use this term of the statement bracing for impact. There we go. I'm bracing for impact that does not come. And it's just like, I'm bracing and it's just wearing me down.
For sure. Well, that sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you're dealing with that.
Yeah. That song, it's just helping me. And I've been listening to it every day for the past 3.5 weeks, and I listen to it nonstop. Like when I ride my longboard to the coffee shop to do my homework assignments that I procrastinated on and don't want to do, I listen to this song, and it just reminds me I don't have to fight. It's okay to rest. Like it's okay. Like, for example, another thing is like my mother is someone who takes the side of my abusers. So I feel like I'm, constantly having to explain myself over and over and over again of why, I am worth being cared for, why, my circumstances are valid, and how the victim does not need to pay the price of the offender, at all. How it's not the victim's fault that people abuse them. You know what I mean? It's not, it's like people had their choice to abuse, and so, and in this case I'm talking about my brother. He was extremely physically abusive, verbally abusive, psychologically abusive, and I mean literally for a month and 3 days straight he would beat me, and no one would stop it. Everyone just watched, and then he would brag about it. But, and I'm not gonna get too much into it. Just know that, my mother, she definitely has her blame in it, because she saw a lot of abuse happen and let it. As what she did with my father, she saw a lot of abuse that he was doing to me, and she let it. So the point is, I feel like I'm grasping, and I'm so desperate for her to finally validate me and just be like, guess what? It wasn't my fault. None of this was my fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she's upset that I set boundaries and no longer talk to my abusers. She can't understand that. I think she's narcissist, I'm gonna be honest with you. But she's the type of person where she has to go through something in order to validate it or understand it. And she's that type of person, just like, oh, well, you get over it. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, now, if you went through it, you wouldn't be saying that. So the point is, I'm constantly having to defend myself. There we go. Fighting, defend, fighting, bracing for impact. All of those, just to give people more context. But this song is telling me, you know what? Like, I don't need her to validate me. I don't. I'm already validated, and I have all of the support, all of the, I have it from people that care about me. You know what I mean? They validate and they support me. They recognize my counselors, my therapists. Everyone has recognized I'm valid. That wasn't my fault, and what they did was not okay.
Yeah.
And they don't take the side of the abuser. So I'm just, this song is like, I don't have to defend myself. I just don't. I don't have to do that anymore. When it comes to something like this,
For sure.
Just like, I don't have to fight. I don't have to defend myself. Like, I can just relax. I can just enjoy the best I can. And, if she's never gonna get it, she's never gonna get it. It's not my responsibility to be the adult for her, because she doesn't know how to be the adult herself.
Yeah.
She doesn't know how to be the parent in this situation. So yeah, I was just like, it's okay to rest. Like, rest.
100%.
Fucking rest, bitch. Like, that's what I had to tell myself. I'm like, Josias, bitch, you gotta rest. You gotta fucking rest. It's fucking K to rest. And so every time I find myself, having an internal argument of like, this is what I'm gonna say to her, this is what I should say, having that internal argument. So
Absolutely. I have a lot of conversations with other people in my head.
Yeah, exactly. And so every time I find myself having that, because that can make me go downhill, I'm just like, bitch, you better rest and you better lullaby.
Yeah. I'm for real.
So,
yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think that's the nice, because there's been a lot of like personal stuff going on for me recently as well. A lot of change, a lot of unplanned family related things, blah blah blah. And so that's been the big reminder too, is that it's like, it's okay to not constantly have those conversations with people in my head. It's okay to just like let it go. And it's also okay if I need to take a night to do nothing, Because that's been like the thing with Claire and I are like, well, here's the to-do list. And it all needs done like now. But also, if you don't take the evening, watch a show, then it's just not going to end well. You have to give yourself that rest. And absolutely, like, there have been countless times in my life where music has provided that rest, or playing music has provided that rest. I actually had a gig. I happened to have a gig the very same night that I received some interesting news about certain life situations, and it was a very interesting gig because it was the first show that I've played where I didn't go into it like just excited to play music. I like brought some like genuine like pain and like rough feelings with me into the show, and it was also one of the most rewarding shows that I ever played. You know what I mean? Because it's such a healing thing to then be able to just play it out in the art. And even if it's not the cleanest show you ever played and stuff, people can tell whenever you're like really, really in it. And I'm always in it. I'm just usually only ever having like a great time while I'm in it. But it was like, I think people could tell that there was like something extra to it that night, that it meant something more. And so the crowd response was just incredible, and like the amount of like sort of cleansing and healing of that sort of like love and support in response was just incredible.
Yeah. I'm writing something down real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to use that as the advertisement
Okay, right on.
video clip, so I'm going to write down the timestamp.
Oh, the timestamp.
So I'm going to text you the number 30. That's just for me because I'm too lazy to go to the notes tab because I'm already accidentally on your number. Oh well. So I will see that, and so I'm going to look at 30 minute and then do an advertisement bit from there when I advertise your episode and do a little sneak peeky thingy.
Yeah.
This season's fire, man. Casper, fucking all-star, bro. What? Oh my gosh, man. You know what? One of these days, I'm gonna get as many tattoos as you.
Right on. Well, you gotta start. I'll send you Claire's info right away. You can start booking it. Next time you're in Indiana. I'm so happy you're gone now.
Yeah, I might be there for Christmas, fun fact, so.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, if you are in town, make sure you hit me up. I'll be sad if we didn't like grab dinner together or something.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm gonna and probably Thanksgiving as well. Gonna see if I can spend it with my best friend Alex.
Heck yeah.
So I'm sure, if I am there, I'm definitely sure I will see you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I know we're about to wrap up.
Okay.
But I just do have a question.
Absolutely, I have an answer.
Are those both your guitars back there? Oh my God, bitch! There's 3. I love that.
Yeah, we're in the work in progress studio.
Wait, there's 4
at the house.
Oh, I love. How many guitars you have? I love that.
I think I've got like 2 working guitars. The rest of them need various repairs, but I think I've got like probably 7 in total.
Oh my gosh.
It'll never be enough though. Yeah, I recently got an old Yamaha 12-string that I'm going to fix up, and I'm stoked about that because I started learning on a 12-string guitar, so it's a very special instrument for me. Yeah, so I can never get enough of them. So.
12-string, okay, that's some learning right there.
For real.
I cannot wait until I get a big boy job or however to consistently financially support myself so that I can get back into kickboxing, so I can get back into skydiving. One of the
Those
things
are
on
both
my list.
awesome things.
Ugh, amazing.
Dude,
One of
I
the
didn't know
things-
you were into all that. That's so awesome.
Dude, I did kickboxing for almost 2 years.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I love me some skydiving. I can't wait to get my license. But my other goal is to do guitar lessons, is to learn guitar. In fact, I went to the Guitar Center while I was also doing kickboxing. I had just finished skydiving as well. I had just finished a skydiving trip. And I went to Guitar Center and I was asking them, okay, prices on guitar lessons. Long story short, things didn't play out like that because I moved states. I moved to Oregon, which was the worst decision of my life. Yeah, so I'm glad I got out of Portland.
Well, it had to be pretty though, at least, right? Oh, no.
We're talking downtown Portland.
Oh, I see.
Nothing
Okay.
Nothing pretty.
Right
Not
on.
at all. It's yeah. So but I'm gonna get back to. I just know it. I just know all I need to do is have a financial consistent flow so that I can obviously because stuff costs money.
It does.
So
Too much sometimes.
but that is my goal because I already know kickboxing. So and it's just skydiving. Oh yeah, and I'm just these guitar lessons. Oh yeah, I'm gonna
Right
play
on.
guitar. I'm going to do it. Serenade some people.
Absolutely.
Serenade a ring on my finger. Where are you at, Nick Jonas? Where's Joe Jonas at? Where is he at? I need him. I'm gonna serenade a ring on my finger. So, yeah, okay, Casper, we love it. We love the music and keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to obviously, copy and paste your information to the episode description below
Sure.
from the last episode of yours, which is in season 3. Folks, go check it out if you haven't. But if you need me to add anything extra, Casper, go ahead and send me a text. I'm probably not going to release this episode until November 2023, October 2023. I don't know. It's coming soon. Probably October, beginning of October 2023.
Right on.
I'll keep you updated.
Did you have the septum ring last time I saw you?
Yes.
Okay, I just don't think I could see it before, but it looks absolutely fantastic.
It's amazing. Thank you so much. I just feel getting this piercing and the septum ring. I just felt more just individuality. Literally, that is my thing now. Individuality. Express who you are. What? Society is too limiting, and life is too short to be limited for that long. So I'm just
100% for sure.
You gotta be exactly. Because I'm not going into my life and just being I limited myself for other people. I was no, I don't like humans that much to do that anymore. So I'm just do I want humans to be convenient? I don't care that much for humans that much anymore. So I was I will be myself. Yeah. Alrighty, man. Well, folks, this has been another. This has been another episode of Vulnerability Time. Thank you for tuning in. Casper, say goodbye to everyone.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Casper, don't hang up yet. I'm just gonna end.